Hello, I started writing some pages about overcoming procrastination and fulfilling your dreams, and it's led to many different interesting subjects and how different things relate to that. This morning I wrote one on prayer and the serenity prayer specifically, and how I think that relates. And it goes like this: prayer is a power, prayer is a division bell, prayer is a unifier, prayer is a challenge, and prayer is a relief. Like passing a note in the schoolhouse of life to the supernatural, prayer can clarify the stumbling blocks and is like the general in the army you've assembled to help realize your dreams. Of course, bringing prayer into the equation invites the controversy of God and religion and the endlessly complicated ways people feel around those subjects. Outside of politics, they are the touchiest subjects because they dance around questions about the state of our souls and make us grapple with the idea of eternity, when perhaps we'd rather think about what we are having for breakfast or which football teams are playing each other this Sunday. But the experience of being a human is multifaceted. We are flesh and blood and spirit, and so the spiritual side of the equation must be dealt with, and a story of what our potential is to reinvent what it is possible for us to achieve and overcoming old limitations and obstacles. I suppose it's a stretch to say you can utilize prayer even if you're not a believer, but I do think there is a prayer that works and is very helpful even if you can't really access a conscious relationship with God per se. I will address believers in a bit, but for now, let's talk to the non-believers and how prayer can still be a tool in the toolbox of your dreams. In 12-step land, they are quick to say that God can simply be the God of your own understanding. God as you define him. They will say a light bulb can be God, or that group consciousness can act as a proxy for God. I believe that philosophy is more of an attempt to onboard people who are not used to accessing an active relationship with spirit, with the higher self, with the witness that has been with them since their lives began, somebody who operates their world strictly from the mind or the ego. There is another power that they have access to, and however you define it isn't as important as beginning to relate to it. So if it's easier to imagine it being a light bulb than a loving and personal Heavenly Father, then so be it. The point is that it's not only you and your thoughts that need to solve every issue in your world. There is another realm we dance with that contains great mystery and power. I think the serenity prayer is perfect for people of this nature. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think in its purest form, it starts out addressing God, its purest or its original form. It says, God, grant me the serenity. But if that's a stretch for you, you can, I believe, leave the nature of who or what you are appealing for help from vague and just say, grant me the serenity. The only stipulation is you do have to believe there are higher forces operating than just you. And what or who those higher forces are don't need to be strictly defined as such. As the 12 steps state, it can be group consciousness or a light bulb, just as long as you acknowledge that there is a power outside of yourself. You don't have to call it God if that's an issue for you, because regret is the target, and a world full of past failures that may be creeping up behind you as you reevaluate your life and try to make it better than it's been. Regret is like a gang of street hoodlums ready to mug you on your way back home. Regret will gang up, and when energy and motivation to overcome past limitation wanes, and it always wanes, that's when the regrets come out of the woodwork. You don't have to believe in the Bible to see that you are dealing with principalities in the realm of the spirit world. Those principalities show up as memories and regrets, and they threaten deeply your movements towards progress. Progress enrages them. So the serenity prayer acts as a kind of magical sword against them. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, accept what has happened, and accept where you are, accept who you are, and accept where you want to go. The first part of this prayer acts like a punch in the face to regret and acts as a building block to a new beginning. Accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It takes courage to stay in this battle. It takes an acknowledgement that you are trying now, trying again, and so therefore making you vulnerable to failure. Though without trying, failure is certain. But for many, that's easier to accept and be weathered by the ego than to simply lean on nihilism. But to believe and move forward with new energy and will means that you could fail and have to sit in a room acknowledging your shortcomings. So it takes courage to do that. The courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom to not take up mental real estate with the things you cannot do anything about. To not allow worry to fragment your internal hard drive, but instead focus the power of your mind towards the things you have the power to change, like habits and discipline and perseverance, things that will take the full capacity of your will to confront and alter, and the very things the principalities of darkness will move to destroy through the fragmentation of worry and regret. This prayer, whether you acknowledge God or not, can be a powerful reminder to keep your headspace clear and in the right direction. I mean, prayer for people who do believe is an even greater weapon against failure. For the believers, they set up a partnership with God and check in daily throughout the day. When the demons hit, you revert back to that space of communion and ask for guidance and help, and guidance and help will indeed come. You are not alone here in this journey, and the more you are aware of this, and the more you practice awareness of this, the more the impossible becomes possible, because alongside your hard work and discipline, the magical element of grace will arrive to carry you to places you couldn't otherwise make it to. The winds of God favor, the winds of grace. These are things you can readily ask for and even expect, though they don't come on your timeline or how you expect them, but they do indeed come. Likewise, when you recognize frustration building up and depression and the toxicity of regret, you get in the habit of directly addressing those things in your prayer world and asking for help all along the way. You have a collaborator, a protector, a support system that will never fail you. Even in the whirlwind of unanswered prayers, you have faith. Faith that there is a plan beyond your own. And so you easily see how the humiliation of failure becomes a bastion of purity, the flames you walk through, stripping away your false ideas and ideals and shaping internal vision to one that aligns with a higher authority. Framed this way, ultimate failure becomes impossible. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Help me maintain faith and see as you see what I need to do here. Help me to persevere and guide me so that actions are not wasted and so that they may align with yours towards the greater good for all. And help me have faith that everything is as it should be. You are not alone in this pursuit, and to the degree that you pray and ask for help correlates directly with how much help you get. You shouldn't simply hold on to a vision of what you want your life to be and wait for the gifts of that dream to magically fall from the sky, but you should hold that vision and ask for help to put yourself into a state of massive action towards that dream becoming real. You are partners with the Most High, even if for now, the Most High is just a light bulb.